Hail my lords and ladies, what's up? My name is Sir Medieval, and today we're going to be talking about the Alpha 1 details for an upcoming MMO called Ashes of Creation. First off, wow, finally here. Well, not fully. Apparently the stress test I'll be running tomorrow and for a little bit of time for the next week or so is going to be under NDA. This will be to stress test the servers, probably certain mechanics like the combat, how buggy the server is, etc. After the stress test, Alpha 1 testers will be testing out Arena mode for about a month before the mode gets put out for the rest of the quote-unquote registered users. Since they're having this Arena mode serve as both a bonus mode, available during the game's development, it seems like they'll be letting people with registered accounts into the Arena mode test, even without having bought a package before. Be sure to keep an eye out for that, and Steven also said that they plan to have the rest of the Alpha backers in the test by the end of September. For this stress test, only a limited few of the bunch will be testing as well. And now for some stuff you've already heard or seen before. A quick overview of the Alpha. For the Alpha 1, Phase 1, after the stress test, there will be a free-for-all Battle Royale mode available to the Alpha backers. This phase should not be under NDA, but we'll have to wait and see to know for sure. Great way to market your game on that one, actually. It's really a smart move. If you want to try and innovate while running a testing phase that'll keep people interested, I guess dropping a fantasy Battle Royale might be the best way in this day and age. Thank God there's no guns involved. Yet. Anyway, Alpha 1 continuing sometime in December is going to introduce a new battleground mode called Castle Siege. I believe we've seen some gameplay in the footage already. Defenders must protect strategic objectives to maintain advantage, although attackers must destroy said objectives to swing the battle in their favor. Sounds like we'll be getting some ESO Cyrodiil action after all in that one. So the game features a main/subclass system similar to ArcAge Rift, in which you can pick a class from the 8 different choices you have available, and expand those into 64 different subclasses based on the choices of your desire, as shown in the picture below. This testing phase in particular will allow us to test out the class kits, which sounds like we'll have access to the entire, if not most of the subclasses when we get to this point. It's important to note that although you'll be able to change your subclass, your main class must stay the same the whole way through after you choose it. But since you'll be able to change up your sub, you'll have plenty of abilities to choose from. You'll also be able to invite up to 20 of your guildmates into a match with you, so you better make sure your candy butt gets inside a group unless you want to get wasted by pre-mates. I'm sure you'll do fine solo queuing, but let's be real. If you had at least 60 randoms against the full group of 4 20-man pre-mates, we all knew who'd probably win that. Better to be safe than dead! Speaking of which, it'll be 100v100 with 200 players in the match in all. There will be siege engines, which we've seen some footage of already, and it'll obviously take place in and around a large destructible castle. Prepare the rams and siege ladders. And lastly, Horde mode. The city siege, which will take place at the beginning of March next year, it'll be a player versus environment mode. We've seen a bit of this from the footage as well. Monsters swarm up alongside bosses to try and take down your castle. Finally going to be able to experience this type of content for the first time myself, since I ended up burning out on Ren before it got reworked and released on Steam. Not sure how it's doing right now. Boss battles, including legendary creatures that you'll need strength and skill to overcome, basically sounds like you better make sure you fight it with your teammates or try to funnel it into a controlled position, otherwise you might get smashed. Horde will also feature a system called Monster Coin, in which you can join a game as part of the Horde to reawaken all that rage you stored up playing MOBAs to unleash them on an unlucky team of players. You know what I'm talking about. Get that league rage going, baby. It'll also be functioning as a survival mode that'll have waves upon waves of hordes coming at you, increasing in difficulty as the waves go on. Lastly, you'll be able to upgrade your character with the merchant system. We're not sure yet what this will fully entail, but from the sounds of it, it'll probably have something to do with your attributes or abilities. We'll have to see how that turns out. I'm not going to talk about Phase 2 of Alpha 1 since it's so far away, and we'll have to see how things turn out when we get to that point, and things change over time, so we'll have to make sure we, stay up to date on that, but we don't want to talk about it just yet. Not just yet. Some good stuff. And as for my thoughts, I ultimately think Ashes of Creation has a great chance of becoming something truly special for this MMO genre. Despite the controversy it's had in the past and current, and skepticism people may have, including myself, it is one of the pillars this MMO genre is holding on to for spearheading the future. As well as Chronicles of Illyria, Pantheon, Crowfall believe it or not, Camelot Unchained, Lost Ark, etc. If Ashes of Creation fails, it could deal a massive blow to what the future of MMOs will be and how they're received by the public as well, especially crowdfunded ones. So I hope Steven brought his A game on this one. Hearing about an allied guild leader from ArcAge starting to develop his own MMO and starting the funding on Kickstarter, I had no idea what to think. So I sat and waited, checked back from time to time, but made sure not to ever fully invest, otherwise I'd have a repeat of Dark and Light. Build my hype for a game and watch the game like a hawk for a year, only to be disappointed because I expected something more, even from the testing phase. Luckily, I've been able to avoid that happening, and I must say the development team behind Ashes and the game itself seem to have come a long way. Now it just remains to be seen what the result will be. My advice though, lower your expectations. First off, this is an alpha. Always look at that word as bugs guaranteed, subpar optimization or complete crap, and probably a whole heap of game mechanics not yet implemented. That way, if it does turn out to prove you wrong on those counts, you can be genuinely surprised and enjoy it, while also not having been surprised if it didn't. That's all the thoughts I have on it though. Hopefully for the people that are seriously relying on this game to give them a home will not be disappointed. Onward to Alpha, folks. If I'm graced with acceptance into the phases after stress testing, I'll see you in there and cover the game. But if not, I'll have to cheer you guys on from the sidelines and analyze it with my recording monocles. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and I hope you have a wonderful night or day. Farewell.